Yvette Sojourner here. Yvette Sojourner here. Welcome. Listen, if you haven't already, like, subscribe, shared, please do. How else is all this goodness going to be spread across the YouTubeverse and the interweb? This is the place and the space where luxury meets authenticity. Today, we're going to talk about how to care for Hermes silk scarves. Let's get into it. How to care for the scarves. I have let's say three options. Well, let's say four. There's four options. The first option, of course, is dry clean, since all of the Hermes scarves basically say dry clean only. The second option is to use steam. That's another way to kind of refresh the scarf. The third option I will be sharing with you, which is hand washing. And then a fourth option, which I'm not really sure about, but I'm going to try it so that you all can see. I have a very special washer and dryer. I am going to use the delicate cycle on my top washer. So my washer has a open front system, but it also has another washer, a smaller washer on top of that. So I am going to try to use that, and I will show you how it turns out. Crossing my fingers. I've not done this before. So I must really like you all. I must really like you all to do this, but I'm going to. And I'm going to use the two scarves that I've been using like crazy since I've gotten them. That is why this video has taken a while. I did not want to try to share information without actually using the scarves. And I've had this scarf actually about a year now. And this was the second scarf I got. So, and this one was from Paris. So it's time. So I'm going to wash both of these and bring you along. This is after it has been washed on delicate in the top part of my washer, also dried, and the setting was air dry on this top part of the dryer. And for this tweelie, I want to point out that I could have steamed it in the dryer as well. The issue is that it would have steamed in the bigger drum and not the top part, which I don't think would be a bad thing. I just figure I would hand steam it instead. So I do have that option, and maybe your unit, meaning your dryer, has that same option. And I've used it in the past on silk pieces, especially my Lunya PJs. They're washable silk, and it has worked fabulously. So yeah, that's just another option for you there. I'm using cold water. This is a little of the hypoallergenic laundry detergent we use. Okay. Mix it around. Now for the scarf. And the detergent is actually unscented. Hubs has allergies, a lot of allergies. So we try to be as mindful as we can of that. All right. Make sure I keep that really well. But it's cold water. I always wash a majority of my clothes in cold water, and on delicate. It's just habit at this point. Okay, so this, once again, this is the scarf that I actually got last year while I was in Paris. So as that, leave that for a second so I can prepare the rinse. And what I'm going to do is just keep using cold water until I get that thoroughly rinsed out. Now, let me show you this water real quick. So you could see, I want you to see. And like I said, I don't wear this scarf a ton. I've only used it a couple times. And this is the water after the fact. So, you know, it's a good time to wash that. All right, here's the clean water. And that's it. So after I get done rinsing this, I am just gonna let this hang to dry. So yeah, that's ultimately how I would hand wash my scarves. I had spoken with an Hermes SA in the past who, when I asked a question about caring for them, basically suggested just, you know, doing a hand wash suffices. So hence why I'm doing it this way. And the Hermes label says dry clean only. So that is something you definitely should take in consideration. You know, I'm not saying that you should do what I'm doing. I'm just giving other options so that everyone has choices. And I will share with you how the one that I wash in the washer comes out once it's done. And yeah, I'm gonna finish rinsing this, hang dry it, and let's see what happens. This is the scarf after thoroughly rinsing it. So this is the scarf after washing it by hand and allowing it to air dry. It's slightly wrinkled, but it looks very good. It feels the exact same as the day I purchased it. I am going to go ahead and steam it. And as I do that, I want to share some details with you. One of which is why you should wash your Hermes scarves or silk scarves specifically. And that goes for just any silk scarf, to be honest. Because our skin is naturally oily and so is our hair, if you are wearing the silk scarf, those oils from the body and the hair get on to the item just naturally. And if you're adding on lotions, perfumes, or for your hair, any hair products, then it is essential to have the silk scarves clean, because moths are attracted to those oils and perfumes, and moths destroy silk just the same as with wool. So these are things to take in consideration and are very, very key. And I'm going to do it section by section. Now, when you're hand washing your silk scarf, you also want to take in consideration any type of spot treatments you want to tend to prior to the actual hand washing. When I use the detergent, the hypoallergenic detergent I mentioned that you saw in the video, as you can see, I used a very, very small amount, and that was intentional. I've heard people say that after you wash something like a silk scarf, you should allow it to dry on a towel first and then air dry it. I did not do that, but it is definitely something for you to take in consideration. So there are times when I use the steamer to actually just refresh the scarf before putting it on, and sometimes even afterwards, you know, just as another secondary form of maintenance. I decided to fold it over because it just makes it a little more easier using this steamer as I'm doing it. My washer and dryer is actually a part of the Flex Wash Samsung group. So you know that and have that information if you're interested. I don't know. We've had it for a while now, so I don't know if it's still in store or even if it's worth purchasing. I know there's so many washer and dryer units now that have all these options. So just be on the lookout for that. And if you're planning on upgrading, you know, definitely look for steam and things of that nature when you're looking for your next washer and dryer. I can say I am a fan of steam when it comes to my washer and dryer, and other little perks like sanitizing and so on and so forth. It is just so useful. Let's flip this over. Check the other side. This is coming out very nicely. So then I will allow it to sit. And next we will be talking about storage. There we are. That's it. I'm very happy at how this turned out. I am loving these silk scarves. As you can see, I wear them, you know, pretty regularly, especially this size. I love the size 90. I love the size 70 as well. As I said prior, it all depends, but this is one of my absolute favorite sizes. And here are both the scarves. Since I already kind of been off camera all this time, I've decided that I won't hop back on at this point since I'm nearing the end of this video. I did want to touch on storage, and to be honest with you, I have two different units that I have used in the past, one of which mounts onto the wall, and the other is just one that you can hang in various spaces such as the closet. I will insert images of both of those units. What I've stuck with is the one that has the circle rings that you can hang pretty much anywhere, and it's made of some type of fabric itself. I really do enjoy that one because I can see and just grab whichever scarf I'm wanting for that day. I know people fold scarves and store them that way, but for me personally, I just don't have the space currently. I know in the future when we either remodel or relocate, which I am leaning towards us relocating, I will basically store my scarves in that manner as well. I really do prefer the look of it, but then it also keeps everything together really neatly. The way I have them now is just not as neat, so it's really not my preference. And yeah, I really believe that is all that I have to say here. Well, I hope something I shared with you was of some use. Let me know in the comments what you do yourself when it comes to caring for your Hermes silk scarves. I know that there are so many others out there who would potentially benefit from that information. So let's get a conversation started. Thank you for joining me. Until next time.